Hi all, welcome to this video. In this video, are going to talk about RDP in Google Cloud. So basically, I will give a small info like what is RDP. So basically, RDP is Remote Desktop Protocol. It is a Microsoft developed protocol that allow users to remotely access or control Windows computer and servers over a network. Like for Linux, we have SSH. So for your Windows machine, we use RDP, and it enables a graphical interface so we can interact with our remote system as they were physically present. Just we can log in to our Windows machine by using the help of RDP. So these are some key features of RDP, like it help in remote access, like we can control a Windows machine from anywhere if we have proper credentials available. Secure connection, like they use encryption to protect the data. Multi-user support, so even it allow multiple remote users on Windows Server Edition. If you're like you have license, you can do that also. And file and clipboard sharing, like we can transfer files, copy paste between local and remote systems. So basically how RDP works, so when a user requests an RDP session using RDP client, so if you know in Windows you have a RDP client, like do window R and type this mstsa, it will open that RDP session. We will see also like how we can use RDP. Then RDP server process the request and authenticate the user. You have to provide username and password. If that is correct, a secure connection will be established and you will able to remote control of your Windows desktop. So basically in Google, there are only 3-4 methods from which we can log in into our like Windows machine. So basically if we start, first of all, this is a flow chart. I have taken this from Google only. First one is like if VM have a public IP address and RDP exposed. So if your VM has a public IP, so you can use RDP client. So you have to go in your Windows machine and just type RDP client, and after that you have to provide your IP address for that machine, and after that it will ask username and password and log in into your VM, or you can click on RDP button in Google Cloud Console. It will download a like RDP session for you, and you have to just click in and provide that password and username. And even you can generate credentials from Google Cloud Console only, or you can use even your Cloud Shell to generate the password. So but if you are using this option, so the IP of your machine, like the public IP, or if you are connecting like from your local computer, that IP must be allowed in the firewall. Until you allow that specific IP, you cannot create a connection. So firewall rules are kind of main here. So you make sure like Windows server or machine work on 3389 port. So you have to like allow that specific 3389 with your IP address. After that, if your VM is without a public IP address, so basically it is a private IP address. So now we have some option, like if you are using Windows machine with a private IP. So if you are connecting from your corporate network by VPN interconnect, like if you are connecting from your organization or your inside from your company network, then you can just use RDP client, because there will if they have a connectivity from between Google Cloud and like your on-prem via VPN or interconnect, and traffic is allowed, so that you can do RDP client if you have proper credentials. After that is anywhere. So anywhere means if you are not in the office, you are connecting from anywhere from the world, just you have a computer and you want to log in. So there's two options. So in this we have option like IAP. So can we use IAP? IA is like identity aware proxy. So you if you have a proper IAP roles on, you have like tunnel user role, then you can log in with the help of these things. But if you don't have, cannot use IAP, then you can use Chrome Remote Desktop. So for Chrome Remote Desktop, so someone from your organization must have installed this on the Windows machine, then only it will work. It will not pre-install in every machine. And after that, if you are going to use like IAP, so there is a client OS, like if you are using a Windows machine or Mac or Linux. So if you are using a Windows machine, you can just download the IAP desktop and you can create a connection with the help of that. Just you have to log in into it, and it will show all the projects in which you want your VMs are running. If you have proper rules, then only it will work. Otherwise, if you have Mac or Linux, you can use G Cloud plus RDB client. So in this, I can show IP desktop. This I am cannot show. I don't have proper infra to create this. And I will try to show Chrome Remote Desktop also. We have to install this software on the Windows machine. This we can also try RDB client. So let's go to console and just create our first Windows machine. I am in my console. So basically, As you know, the free trial doesn't include Windows Server, so I'm using a playground of Cloud Guru so that I can show you this demo. So let's go here and just we have to provide a name, Windows VM, and for machine, let's choose some big machine. Okay, that is okay. After that, you have to go here, OS and storage, and just change and go to operating system. So here we want to use Windows, so we can choose Windows Server. After that, we have the option which Windows we want to use. So I'm going to use Windows Server 2022 data center, and 50 GB is enough for me. It is a small demo. I will click on select. So as you select this, you can see it will include a premium image users fees. That is not happen if you use any simple like Linux machine or Linux OS. So, but in this you have to like provide the license fees also, because Windows come with a license and you have to pay the fees. That's why it doesn't include in free trial, and we have to just upgrade our account if you want to use this like Windows machine basically. And in the networking, I don't need anything. Just what I'm going to do, I first of all I put a like public IP as of now so that I can log in into my from my local. After that, I will remove this public IP and I will put it on the private IP, and I will show you how we can log in into it if we have a private IP only. I will click on create. So we can see our Windows machine has been created, and this is our internal IP, this is external IP, that is public IP, and this option is enabled for us RDP client. I cannot focus on IAM roles which is required because in this I don't have proper access to create IAM roles because it is a playground. I have limited access, but I will show you how it all works. The roles you can check out the official documentation, but I am focusing on how we can use Windows VM. So before clicking on this RDP button, I don't have credentials to log into this. So for that, what I can do, I can click here, click on set Windows password, or I can use view gcloud command to reset password. So I have to just enter, it will create a password for me. I will click set Windows password. It will give me a username. You can like if a Windows account with the following username does not exist, it will create a account and a new password is signed. If account is exists, the password will be reset. So basically I don't have an account, it is a new VM. So it will create a like account and username and with a password, and if the account is already there, it will just reset the password. Like it also says like if the account already exists, resetting the password can cause the loss of encrypted data secured with current password. So basically just save your password somewhere, or once you log in into it, just change the password. So I will change the okay, I'm okay with this username. I will click on set. It will generate a password for me. I will copy that. So this is the password it has generated. I will just copy it, just paste in the browser, and I will click on close. I will click on RDP. If you can click on this if you download the RDP file, if you will be using a third party client. Okay, I will okay with that. Will download in your download folder. It will ask the location. After that, so I will click on that RDP icon and open. So here it is asking me like this is a unknown publisher and I am using RDP, and this is the remote computer. This is the public IP. And if you want to connect, I can click on connect, and I have to just enter the password which I have given by like which we have created previously, this password. Or another option is there, if you don't want to use if you don't click on this RDP button, what you can do, you can just search RDP in your desktop or laptop and click on this, and it's the same thing, only just provide the IP here like 35.193.207.121 and click on connect. Will ask you the username and the password again. So for the username, if you have copied, that's okay. If you don't forgot to copy, just click on this again, and this is the username. We can copy this, and this is my password. If I go here, copy this, and I will click on OK. And it is asking like if you want to like certificate and all that, just click on yes, and it will create a secure connection. Once it will check the credentials are okay, and we have the proper like uh, firewall rule also. So meanwhile it is loading. So if I go to my VPC networks, and if I go to my default VPC, and in the firewall rules, we can go here, and this is the default allow RDP. and we can go inside this role and we can check. As of now it is allowing of from all the ranges 0.0 slash all that. So basically anyone can log in if he has the proper credentials. So he can log in into this Windows machine. Suppose someone get access to this your username and password, he can create a connection also. So basically Google says that don't put this broad IP range, just put the IPs if which you want to log into this VM. So I can edit this role or I can create one more role which block my IP also. So if you don't want any like anyone from the internet or you want some specific person can only log in, just make it change here. And if you come down, and this is the port TCP and 3389 is the port on which Google on this Windows server work. So if we go inside it, it is still loading and we can see we are able to log in also. And if I go here, yeah, I can change the password also. Like if I want to, I will click on just change account, like account settings. The sign in options you can click and we can click on password, click on change, and after that it's the same thing like you change the Windows password, you can do that also, nothing much, not something big thing which we have to do. Just paste the current password, that is this one, and I will click on next and put a very simple password like password at the rate 123, password at the rate 1. So in the future I am going to use this password only because that is very complex password, maybe I will forget also. After that, this is the option like how you can log in from the local. So that is very easy. Anyone can do that. Now what I am going to do, I am going to remove my public IP. I don't want like anyone from the internet can log in it until I have proper rules. I come in my network interface and just click on none, done, save. So I have removed my public IP. So as soon I remove my public IP, you can say RDP one has gone. This button has been grayed out. Like instance doesn't have a external IP. So like we cannot create a connection. So now what we can do, like if you have a cloud interconnect or VPN connected from your on-prem, if you are in the organization sitting in the office, then you can create a connection if your proper firewall rules allowed. Then and the connectivity is there, you can create a connection. But if you are trying from like sitting in a cafe or from a home and want to log in, like something goes down, then there's one option which Google provides. So if we come here in this chart, like we whether we can use Chrome remote desktop or we can use IAP. So like identity aware proxy. So if you have a Windows machine, like I have a Windows machine, so I can download IAP desktop, which I have already done. So if you don't know, just go to Google and type IAP desktop and like GCP. So it will provide the correct link. Click on first link which will come. Click on this download IAP desktop and you just install it. So I have already downloaded it. So I will just open it. Once you click or open your IAP desktop, it will ask you to log in into your VMs. Like sign in, asking to sign in. You have the option, click on sign in. So like you can click sign in with Chrome or default browser or more options are there. Like if you have a Google account, like sign in with Google account or your workforce identity federation. So like if you have a your account like it's a partner, your organization a partner of your another organization, they will create a workforce identity. That is a different topic itself. Just we have to use Google account one. So what I am going to do, I am going to click on this sign in with Chrome guest mode. So it will open a page here. Name and password you can provide like that. You have to just continue and in this you have to click on this is very important, like click on this IAP desktop can access, so otherwise it will not able to create a connection. So it is saying that IAP desktop is ready to use, and if I click here I can see my account has been added. So here I will choose my project. So if somehow it will say like this one, like this is giving me like issue like inaccessible project, just click here add project and re-choose the project. So it will start working, and after that you can just click on this Windows VM and like click on connect. So I'm using an IAP desktop, so it will asking me like if I want to create a new credentials, I will say I will like already have a credentials, I will say I will enter manually, and it will ask me the username and password once again. So for the username I will just click on this once again. I forgot my username. This is the username, and I will go back, and after that it will ask the password. Password is same which we have created in the last part. Click on OK, and it is connecting. So you can see I have logged into my VM, and this is the same VM which we have working on previously. And after that, like this, you can use IAP desktop, and it is very helpful thing. But the main issue is that if you try to log in, will work if you have a personal account. Basically, like you can use IAP desktop if you are sitting in a cafe and logging all these things. But it is a security issue also. Some suppose like if you have your personal desktop is kind of like have some malware, or it is kind of like don't have antivirus or properly like Windows patches installed, maybe some third person from over the internet can see what you are doing and try to hack your machine. Something can be possible. So better, so what will happen, most of the clients or the you can say your organization doesn't allow the IP desktop will work from your outside the organization, like from your home, from internet. They will just block the connectivity. So for this thing, like how we can block the connectivity over the internet for the IAP desktop, like or even the G Cloud CLI, I will create another video. But on this video, I'm showing like if you are in your company also, in the organization also, you can install IAP desktop to like manage your all the things like this VMs. Even it support like Linux VM also. You can manage Linux VM also from here. Just you have to click and it will click create a SSH session also. So that's the beauty of IAP desktop by Google, and it is very helpful. But it will, I will say, don't use like over the internet. I know it will a very helpful tool, but if your machine is compromised somehow or don't have proper patches, just don't use this thing. It is a very dangerous thing. Anyone can access to your organization VMs, or even he can do anything, because from here you can even like and stop and restart also, like these are some options. So even we can use connect data user, we can see all these things, tunnel, all that, and we can create new login credentials if we forgot. Click on connection settings also, so it will see all these things, like you can check out like username and all that, and all these things like what is enabled, what is allowed, like all these things. And after that, if we click on this, more options are there. Refresh project, open in cloud console, configure IP access, and show CR port, software packages, properties. And in the properties the same thing, it will show like all the machine, like which machine type, metadata, network tags, if we are using any service account scopes, even like which service account has been attached, and what are the scopes of the service account, and like any OS login enabled. So that is just so much of things which can be like done on this machine. And if you click on this view, we can even see active IP tunnels also, which tunnel is working on, like this. But this is not a video on IP tunnel. Will create a IP video later on. So basically I want to show you like how you can create a connection. And also once you done with it, like instead of 0.0, just provide your like IAP range. And I think you already know the IAP range, the 35.240. Let's see what the IP range is, or slash 20 or hyphen 20, sorry. And from this range, you must create a firewall rule. And so basically, this is IP range. If you have a IAP role, IAP tunnel role, you can log into any VM. And also, now the last option which I want to cover is we can install Chrome desktop also. Let's see how do you do that. And for that, let's see what are the options we have. So you can come on this page and it will say like install the Chrome desktop service. So basically you have to copy these commands in that PowerShell. But before running this command, we need a like it will going to install some software. So I think we need a public IP also, so that it can connect to the internet and download this. So we are going to click on edit, and I will re-enable the public IP on this specific VM, so that uh, like my all that installed, like Chrome desktop can be installed. So basically in the organization, if someone want to use this thing, like want to install Chrome desktop, so basically they are going to use a golden image in which all the software are pre-installed, and from that image they are going to create the new Windows server. They don't use like public images directly. So I've enabled a public IP. Once again, I'm going to run this commands in my Windows machine. I'm going to here and going to search PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. Just paste that commands, click on enter, and it will install that specific software. We can see it is preparing to install some software, and that is that Chrome remote desktop, and we will click on yes. Next step, once that is done, you have to go to this specific thing, click on this button, Chrome remote desktop command line setup page, and after that we have to click on this setup another computer, click on next, click on next, click on authorize, and it will ask like Windows PowerShell we are using. We have to copy this. If you're using Linux or CMD, you can copy this thing, and we go back here and just click on paste. It will ask us to create a pin, so enter a pin for at least 6 digits. So like I will tell like 1 2 3 4 5 6, and it will ask to re-enter. So that is done. Once you're done with this, you have entered this, just click on remote access, and it will show your Windows VM. That is this Windows VM which we have created, and we have to just click on this, and it will try to connect, and it will ask you the pin which you have created in the last step. So before doing that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove my public IP, so we can confirm that without our public IP it will work fine. So let's go back. I will click on edit, and will come down in my network interface and just remove this my external IP, click on done and click on save. After that we will try to log in into this machine. So we can see our Windows public IP has been. So after removing my public IP, I can see that it is showing me last online. It is kind of offline, but my VM is still running. And if I go to IAP desktop, it is still running. So so there will be issue like what is missing. Like so basically what we need a cloud net here. So to connect to Google, like my Windows machine, need a connection somehow. So instead of like allowing internet access, we are providing cloud net. So only outbound connections are allowed to the like our this Chrome remote desktop. For that, I am going to go to net and cloud net. Let's create a net gateway so that our this specific can talk to Google servers. So let's say Windows net, and after that I will select the network default and region. Let's see in which region. It's in US Central, so I am going to use US Central 1, and cloud router I will click on new, just give any name, test, anything you can give, and click on create, and I will choose all these things, let be default only, and I will click on create. So let's see after it's create, so we can say it is now running. And if I go back here, let's see in how much time it will come back online again. As soon as it able to communicate with that Google servers, the connection will be restored. So after waiting for 2 3 minutes, I can see it is now showing online. So once I enable the net, now let's see whether it asks for password now. So now we can see it is asking pin, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's click on this icon, and we can see we are able to connect. Still we don't have a public IP, just enable the net so that our VM can communicate with like our Google servers. So so it is getting login, and you can check out all these options like full screen or to like how you want to do this. So we can see your desktop is currently shared, like all that thing. And if we go back here, we can see the session has been disconnected because we are connecting from there. If I click on connect here, it will disconnect from there. Like we have a limited license that option, so we cannot create multiple connections or connect like multiple user cannot log in into this. So like it is now being login here, and if you go back here, it will automatically remove like cancel this session. Like see, it is log out automatically, and we have a session here. And as I added the cloud net, so I'm able to log in like search the internet also, and like anything I can do. So like this we can log in into our Windows VM with the help of SSH, and you can just check out this basically diagram. So public IP have checked, this we checked Chrome remote desktop, but you need a cloud net so that connection can be created. Like it will show that it is active, and after that IP desktop we have checked. The same thing is for Mac and Linux. If you have a Mac, just install G-Cloud and RDP client, any RDP client you can use to create a connection, and you can check out the documentation also for that. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, just comment it down. I will try to help you. Thank you.